3.
Giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live. We are streaming live on YouTube, and of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker. Still, boom. Cowboys get the victory. Move on to 2-2. Y'all know what that means, right? Y'all know what that means, right? Ain't no damn cookout. Nah, these badass kids they're not allowed to come to the cookout. No, sir. They still on punishment. Still on punishment, but I'm not mean like that. I'm not mean like that. I'll bring over some leftover food. I'll bring you home a plate. You get some of this mac and cheese. Sometimes you got the badass kids. All they want is the hot dogs with the Kool-Aid stains and the bacon neck. Yeah, I'll bring you some hot dogs and some chips, some Doritos. But no cookout. You can't come have fun with us and the grown folk. No. You're still on punishment. You don't get off of punishment in the week after what happened, the last 2 games. But we'll bring home some leftovers. So apologies, Cowboys Nation. No cookout today. But we still gonna have a good time. What's up with your bomb squad?
Bomb squad!
We are going to unpack this game from last night, and I thought the easiest way to do it was to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of the game. I specifically talked about this throughout the week where just get the dub. You're not in a position right now to where anything else can happen. You have to win this game. The main thing coming out of it, though, for me was hoping that your top guys are okay. Micah and D-Law with the injuries. That's something we'll talk about here in the roundup in a second. But once we come out the roundup, we'll get to that good, bad, and ugly, and we'll talk to y'all. I know y'all got a lot to say about last night. 351-999-3787. In general, for me, prior to me getting into this roundup, didn't move the needle at all. I don't feel any differently about this team one way or the other. Nothing changed from there. I learned nothing about the team from yesterday. They just had to get the dub. This stretch they're about to go on, that'll tell me a lot more about this squad. But it is good to see them bounce back from the 2 embarrassing losses at the crib to go get a division win, an NFC win, and damn near a must win. Damn near a must win, Cowboys Nation. So let's get to this roundup, and I'm going to talk to y'all.
It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It is time for...
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Let me talk to you.
Nah, they're not going to they get do-rag Sky because I got it on. But nah, I'm not going to. That game didn't move me anyway for me to, bring out the do-rag Sky. Nah, not at all. Not at all. I'm not going to sugarcoat it to you. I'm not going to try to fluff this game up as if it was something that it wasn't. And I'm also not going to sit here and be down in the dumps about it. It literally didn't do anything for me emotionally. Yeah, nothing. But if these 2 dudes aren't okay, I'm going to be hurt. I ain't going to lie to you. Then it will move me emotionally. DeMarcus Lawrence left that game, 3rd quarter? Went back to the locker room, grabbed his foot on the sideline. I'm like, oh, Lord. Came back out. They wrapped up his foot, but he never came back in. After the game in the locker room, he said, quote, "It's just a sprained foot, but I'll be fine." We will use these next 10 days of rest to get ready for another big game in Pittsburgh next week. Okay. Let's hope D-Law is good to go, man, because we'll talk about one of our things here. I don't think you can afford to lose him, and you're damn sure cannot afford to lose Micah Parsons, who also went down. Bit of a scare. I think one of the players fell on his ankle, but the x-rays came back negative, meaning it's not broke. So possibly a sprain. He was seen limping when they landed in Dallas pretty badly. But Micah did say he's going to try to get back next week. He will have an MRI today, and we'll see. The good thing is you have that mini bye week. Put a pin in this because my hot take later kind of surrounds this situation. So put a pin in it. D-Law, Micah Parsons sound like they're okay. We dodged a silver bullet, if you will. But the short term, we'll see the effects of it, if that'll keep them out or not. Mike is a warrior, man. He's a warrior. He was fighting through a lot there in that game, got rolled up on. I thought he'd come back in because I've seen him do this before, right? Like, he gets hurt, he comes back in. But when he goes on the cart, I got concerned. Not going to lie to you, got concerned. But he didn't look like he was concerned on the cart. And that's really him. And immediately I reached out and said, hey, he good? And I got told no breakage. And then obviously after the game, we found out x-rays are fine. Likely a sprain, high ankle sprain, probably. Hopefully nothing too serious. Now, we know high ankle sprains can go anywhere between like 4 to 6 to 8. It all really depends on the severity of the ankle sprain. I don't know that you can afford to miss any games, but if he does, you just got to find a way, Cowboys Nation. I'll tell you who found a way yesterday. My Specs key club player of the game, one Dak Prescott. This is an easy one for me. 22 of 27, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 8.2 yards per attempt, 74.8 QBR. He was Dottie Dak yesterday, and he had to be, right? Like, he had to be Dottie Dak because lots of curls, not a lot of separation, a lot of slants with guys hanging on dudes' backs. You had to put you had to be extremely precise every single drop back, it felt like. And he was on the road against a division rival who, I said this the other day, I thought their I thought their defense is pretty solid. I thought it was better than what's their coach? Wink Martindale. That was better defense than Wink Martindale. The defensive line was real. They were compromised in the secondary, which is why I was a little I don't use the word concerned, but I was like, why aren't we creating separation against a compromised secondary? But your quarterback made up for that. They did up the motion a little bit more. Now they just have to marry the motion with better concepts behind it. 28 dropbacks yesterday, 13 motion plays. So that percentage goes up a little bit. In the passing game, no motion plays in the run game, but in the passing game, that went up. You saw them bring back kind of that exit push motion a handful of times in this game, where in weeks past, they weren't doing that multiple times. What about the play action, Scott? They didn't run a whole lot of play action, like true, real play action. I told y'all being a shotgun, half-ass, putting the ball, that's not play action. Under center or true run action, they did that 3 times, and he was 2 for 3 on those with a couple first downs. So all in all, it was an efficient day for Dak, and that's why he takes home the key club player of the game for me. The Specs key club player of the game, Dak Prescott. If you want to become a key club member for Specs, you can. It's very easy. You gain access to member discounts, in-store events, birthday gifts, exclusive VIP events, access to limited release products, and a ton more. Specs is here to make your game days easier with the same day delivery or curbside pickup, where you can shop online or through their Specs app. It's easily accessible. There's tons of them across the Texas area. I'm pretty sure if you just look it up, one way around the corner from you. That's Specs. Cheers to you. Cheers to savings. Funny because I think earlier in that day, or maybe it was the day before, ESPN and that guy put something out that we've been talking about for a while. There's nothing new. Where the Cowboys were last or bottom of the league in many categories that makes things easier for your quarterback, right? Play action, motion, at snap motion, things like that. And it's like, okay, look, this is what it is. We just want to see it improve. Again, 13 motion snaps on 28 attempts. That number did go up. Now you want to see that marry with the concepts, because for the love of me, I couldn't understand why there was so many comeback routes and stick routes in this game, especially to littler guys. But baby steps, man. I've completely reorganized my expectations. I've completely reorganized my perceptions of this team per se, right? It is what it is. But if he has to be 22 of 27 and be Dottie Dak all game like that all year, I don't want to live in that world. This guy makes $60 million. I don't care if he makes $100 bajillion. I want to live in a world we make it a little bit easier. This is a little bit. Because all it was going to take in a game where you won 20-15, one tip pass, pick six or something like that, and boy, oh boy. But let's get to this good, bad, and ugly, and then we can hear from you guys on the horn. The good for me, just talked about it. Dak, CD Lamb, they connect, and they connect early. One of the things that I think a lot of us were going to be looking at coming into this game early was how would CD Lamb respond from the whole temper tantrum stuff? Would his on-field behavior and demeanor improve? I didn't see any temper tantrums in the game from CD. And that's a good thing. He seemed more focused, especially early, and they were deliberate in doing so, right? Me and Jesse were talking about this last year when he was kind of throwing fits. Very next week against the Chargers, they came out and spammed Lamb in a unique way. And what was the thing we were saying yesterday? Find ways to get him the ball creatively. And you saw them do the kind of put him in the backfield, motion him out, or run a Texas route, get him the ball. Hand the ball off to him. They were moving him around early in that sense. But from his targets, most of his targets, I think 8 of them. So he had 8 targets. I think 7 of the 8, it was pretty much what it had been the previous games, which is stagnant, right? Stay in the slot, run a slant, or run down a 9 route. The touchdown pass, unbelievable dot. And then CD Lamb after the catch this year on deep passes have been great, which is why I've been screaming to utilize him more down the field as opposed to these quick slants all damn game. And they did, and he went off for a 55-yard tutty. So seeing Dak and CD Lamb get back in that connection was amazing to see, and hopefully it carries over, because that was the game where it was going to be easier. A secondary that really was okay anyway, but was dealing with injuries. That was a game you needed to try to get back on track, because it's Steelers are next, right? Detroit, San Francisco. Like, these defenses are quality defenses that are going to make things tough on you. So you want these guys to get back in sync. Rico Dowdle and Hunter Lipke show promise. So Rico Dowdle finished the day, 11 carries, 4.2 yards per carry. And I like how it looked for Rico, making guys miss, running hard, running confidently, and kind of getting him going a bit here. We understand we can't put the ball in Rico's hands 15, 20 times a week without the risk of him getting banged up. That's just the way it is. But if I can get, 12 touches for 52 yards and a touchdown, 4.2 yards per carry, I'm taking that all day and tomorrow. He gets a leftover plate. 100%. I'm taking that all day and tomorrow. And I kind of jokingly said, look, I don't need the run game to be 150 yards. I just need to run. If you give me 4.6, I'll take 4.2. I told you, my perception and expectations, whatever you want to call it, have been severely lowered. Give me 4-2 and 11 carries. Come on, man. I'm living with that. I just need a little bit of efficiency to make things a little bit easier on second and third downs. Now, if you want to put it out in the bad, and we'll get there in a second, the start of that game didn't look too great on the ground, but eventually it picked up. And then Hunter Lipke, was it 4 touches, 22 yards, 2 first downs? Yeah, let's up that a little bit. He's looking like, I don't know what Luke Schoonmaker did, nothing. He's looking like tight end number 2 for you, / fullback number 1, / running back number 2. Maybe, just get him the ball a little bit more. If he's the guy that's getting first downs and is a kind of a chess piece for you, as opposed to you not really caring about Zeke, you not really caring about Deuce, and them not really breaking off any big plays for you. Now, they made some plays. I think Zeke had a couple runs. I know one got called back and only had 19 yards on the day, but it was a point in time in that fourth quarter where it looked like, okay, Rico Dowdle starts the game. Zeke finishes it because he's fresh, but it didn't end up that way. But if that's how they're going to use him, then sure. But I ain't going to lie to you, I was a little salty. They didn't give Hunter Lipke the ball in the red zone because y'all know my underdog fantasy was right there, man. It was right there for you to do it. But good promise from Rico and Lipke. Hopefully they build on top of that. Mazi Smith, ladies and gentlemen. Easily a career day for Mazi Smith. Want to go back and watch the down in, down out Mazi Smith because there was a lot of flashes. And that's why I believe it's a career day, because there's never been a game where Mazi has had a bunch of flashes. So if he flashed 3-4 times or whatever, that's a career day. Now, down in, down out, we'll go back and we'll review that. I haven't done that just quite yet, but you saw some of the things that get you excited about Mazi, right? There was a play early in the game, me and Jesse were joking, where he just muscles John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith all the way to the back, but he doesn't disengage. And you hear Coach Zimmer talk about that a lot. Like, okay, he's getting good push, or he's setting, good base and having some good power, but he's not disengaging. Oh, well, later in that game, he throws John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith out the way and almost body slams my guy in the backfield. And it looked like there was more flashes for Mazi Smith. So 100% a career day for him. And you hope he can build off that, because I think he's a guy where up here matters. If he's not playing well, it feels like it'll go that way for the rest of the game, maybe weeks. We don't know. But if he is playing well, which we haven't seen him really do, what if it's the opposite effect? What if, okay, Mazi just had a career game. Now Mazi trends up. He's confident. I belong, et cetera, et cetera. That's what I'm excited to see for next week. If Mazi can carry that over mentally. We know physically he can do it. We know he still has some things to get off and all that stuff is still spotty. But for what they're asking him to do, he can physically do it. You just have to see him put it together consistently and get some confidence in himself, man. I mean, we heard in the offseason, players are having to, get him going. Hopefully he gets to the point where he doesn't need that. He can just get himself going. And then finally, make sure I get this number right. The run defense responds loudly. 24 carries, 26 yards, 1.1 yards per carry. If they allow, and that's why I kept saying it, if they allow that run game, which I was watching on film, like that is not impressive to me. But if they allow this run game to get going, we got extreme issues here. They didn't just not allow it to get going. They didn't even let it show up to the game. Maybe say for one game, and that was because of one game, and that was because of tackling. And we'll get to that in a second. But the run game responded loudly. They shut down Devin Singletary to 1.7 yards. Daniel Jones, not even an average a yard. And then Eric Gray had 1 carry for 1 yard. The longest rush of the night, 5 yards. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. If you told me going into this game, Daniel Jones threw it 40 times and you held him to 1.1, I promise you I thought we'd have blew him out. Not that it matters, but it was a weird game. Seeing them shut these guys down, and it still came down to the last play of the game. But a lot of that had to do with your linebackers / linebacker, DeMarvion Overshown, baby. Played 86% of the snaps. Let's keep doing that. Like, yeah, he's going to go through his growing pains against the Saints and the Ravens and whatnot, or the Ravens for the most part. Didn't play that much in the Saints. But you got to get him on the field so he can continue to get a feel when he's out there, because when he is a field player, when he feels it, when he sees it and he reads and he goes, he's explosive, man. He's going to be a playmaker for this defense if he's not already. But I mean, like, literally fumbles, interceptions, sacks, like all of that's going to come for DeMarvion Overshown the more he plays. So let's wipe our hands with this whole rotation stuff. Okay, and let's DeMarvion Overshown, Eric Kendricks. You wanna swap out Leofau and Clark, cool, whatever. But Overshown, Kendricks. Allow that young man to get his feet going, because I mean, the dude feels like a star at the position. But he just needs to play more, and he will be. So that's my good. Here's my bad. Tackling. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's in the water. This team used to be such a great tackling team. Donovan Wilson used to be one of the best tackling safeties. And on the fourth down play, which obviously, end of the day, whatever. But the fourth down play, you had him dead to rights in the backfield. And we know Devin Singletary can make guys miss, but you had him dead to rights. They don't tackle, first down. Wan'Dale Robinson, out in the flat about I don't know how many damn times. Nobody can tackle him, first down. Malik Neighbors, we told you. Malik Neighbors, Wan'Dale Robinson, they're getting the ball right now. They're getting the ball so that they can make guys miss. Not tackling. The tackling has just been so bad the last few games. I believe 37 missed tackles, last 3 games. 37 missed tackles from the Saints and the Ravens, and I don't know how many it was in this game, but it felt like it was a whole lot. So the bad there was definitely tackling. Pass rush issues. I'm going to go in more depth on this later, but week 1 might have been a mirage, because your pass rush hasn't been existent since then. Like you say, well, Sky, teams are able to run, you don't know. That's all fine and dandy. But when teams actually do pass, the Cowboys are just not pressuring the quarterback that much. Which, again, he used to be able to do that with ease. You do that and you close your eyes in your sleep. Tackling wasn't an issue in years past. Pass rush wasn't an issue in years past. But they are. They are right now. So you want to see that improve. Second half offense. CD Lamb, I don't know what's going on with this whole second half thing, but CD Lamb kind of just, the whole offense disappears and say, but specifically, here's CD Lamb's numbers in the second half this season. 1 reception for 3 yards in week 1. 0 receptions for 0 yards in week 2. 1 reception for 9 yards in week 3. 1 reception for 4 yards in week 4. And, it's not like, oh, well, you know what? You're blowing them out. You don't need it. No. The game was 17-12. 20-15. You still needed to generate some offense in the second half. And Cowboys couldn't. And it really is a pattern when you think about it, aside from the fourth quarter, end of the third quarter, fourth quarter in the Ravens game. Cleveland, second half offense disappeared. Saints, second half offense disappeared. This week, second half offense disappeared. And again, you can't blame a blowout. So they gotta go back to the drawing board and figure out how they can get things going here in the second half. And one thing I don't have on here that I brought up in the pregame show, the starts, man. These starts have got to be better. Just have to be better. Week 1, holding penalty, sack, punt. Week 2, You drive a little bit, dinking and dunking down the field, holding penalty, got to kick a field goal. I think it was a field goal. Week 3, kickoff, holding. Offense, full start, punt. Week 4, run, sprint right, nobody open. Mike, we got to figure out this start, man. This start to the game is not great. Fortunately, though, you played a Daniel Jones-led offense in a scared-ass Brian Daboll. I mean, Brian, if you had a different coach over there and a different quarterback, we could be having a different conversation here. But Daniel Jones and Brian Daboll and look, Daniel Jones looked comfortable as hell in that game. That goes back to the pass rush. Again, if you tell me Daniel Jones throws the ball 40 times and they only sack him once, I'm like, you lying. I've watched the Cowboys sack Daniel Jones 7 times, 6 times, 5 times over the last 5 or 6 outings. 40 attempts, and you only got to him once, and he looked comfy, cozy. He wasn't back there panicking. You know, and a lot of that had to do with how Daboll draws it up. Daboll's a lot of pre-snap, post-snap stuff. Get the ball to Wan'Dale. Get the ball to Malik Neighbors. That's their offense. Malik Neighbors, and if it's not Malik, Wan'Dale Robinson. Like right away. But I was stunned, man. It's stunned to see 1.1 yards per carry and then not really pressuring Daniel Jones, because if you pressure him, you could make him turn the ball over. Fortunately for him, he wasn't good downfield. He might have been good underneath. He wasn't good downfield. He missed a couple shots there to score, but that ain't my problem. That's on Daniel Jones, which is why I never was scared of the guy in general, but I am shocked that you can get to him. And then finally the bad. Make sure I get this number right too. Penalties. Rinse and repeat. 11 penalties for 89 yards. I don't know what the answer is, man. I don't know. But under Mike McCarthy and just in general for the Cowboys, these penalties are just getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. It's stopping offensive drives, or it's continuing offensive drives for the opposing team, or starting you backed up because of kickoff. Like we might have the most kickoff penalties in the league. Have to. Gotta clean. This is an undisciplined team, and that starts with the head coach to me. Gotta clean it up. Can't keep having it. And then finally, the ugly for me. I know you're a rook, man. But again, I don't sugarcoat shit. Tyler Guyton, that was a rough outing. That was a rough one, and it's been a rough outing this season in general. But again, we understood it was going to be some growing pains, but it was an interesting question Jesse posed to me yesterday. It was like, is this growing pains or is he just a liability? And that stumped me. Because we were talking about how, Cooper Beebe is having growing pains, but he's not a liability. Right? Like you see him lose time to time. Might not pick up, but it just feels like you're getting spurts of liability from our guy Tyler. But this is going to happen, right? You're gonna have these struggles, and it's not going to get easier for Tyler Guyton. He's going to go up against a gauntlet of pass rushers. So this will obviously pay off for the young man in the long term, which is why going into the season, I always viewed him as a 2025 outlook type guy. But I ain't gonna lie, I got blinded by I got blinded. I got blinded by training camp. I got blinded by preseason. I was like, hey, maybe he'll be something a lot sooner than that. But right now, it's kind of on par for what the projection was on draft night. An uber talented, athletic guy who is inexperienced and has terrible hands. And when we thought the hands were getting cleaned up, what happens is when the bullets start flying, you revert back to what you know. And I know a lot of people are going to bring up the penalties. Forget the penalties. Watch this. Go back and watch the plays. Pretend they didn't call the flag. He's getting beat. That's the issue, right? Like so he had 4 holdings. I believe only 2 were accepted. He's getting beat every single time with those holdings. So That was the issue. And it was ugly. You know, it was ugly. But you're not. I'm not. I'm still not benching him. I joked about it on Twitter. Unless it gets worse, I think you just got to see this through with Tyler Guyton. You just got to deal with it. You just got to go with the growing pains. Hope he learns from him. I think he's a very mentally tough kid. I don't really see this getting to him in that sense. I feel like he'll fight back. And that's all you can ask for a guy that if you expected him to come in here and have these growing pains. But it was an ugly night. And then Parsons and D-Law going down for me was ugly. We did get good news on both that it doesn't look long-term, but you may be without Micah for a little bit if it's a high ankle sprain. So if you're without Micah and you got a hamper D-Law, that's ugly to me. That brings me to my hot take. Usually I'll ask for your hot takes. I'll post something up. Weird week. We got a Thursday night game. My Dave's hot chicken hot take of the week. The Dallas Cowboys should pick up the phone. Call the New York team that shares a stadium with the New York Giants. That is the New York Jets. And inquire about Hassan Reddick. Whoa, what are you doing, Sky? This ain't Madden. What are you talking about? He needs paid. We can't pay him. You're right. This ain't Madden. He does need paid. And we ain't going to pay him. But this is where you need the salesman, Jerry Jones, to sell Hassan Reddick, the Cowboys. Got to sell him. Hey, we're on national TV. We're the Cowboys. I can get you some real estate going on here. If you do well, you get a big contract next year. Maybe we will pay you. Hey, the Cowboys need an extra pass rusher anyway. You can't keep relying on just Micah Parsons as your juice guy. Because if Micah ain't getting home, which he is not getting home, he's getting pressure, but he's not getting home. Nobody's getting home. Micah Parsons is the only pass rusher on this team with more than 2 pressures in every game. Oh, I'm sorry. Back-to-back games. No edge rusher has more than 2 pressures in back-to-back weeks this year. In fact, only DeMarcus Lawrence has more than 1 game with 2 pressures or more. You don't have enough. Teams know this. All right, we're just going to send a chip here, a chip there. You're going to line them up on our best offensive tackle? Bet. We'll go ahead. We'll battle. We'll battle it out. So you need an extra pass rusher. And I ain't talking about Joe Schmo off the street. I'm talking about a guy. Joe Douglas. Joe Douglas traded a conditional 3rd round pick to Philly, which could end up being a second if they do XYZ, which is not going to be a second. Well, I'll trade you a conditional 4th round pick that could be a 3rd round pick. If your goal is to get better throughout the season, is to do everything in your power to put together a team that can compete later in the playoffs, how do you not pick up the phone for that? How do you look at your pass rush and say, I'm content. We got Micah. Put on that cape, sir, and go out there and do it yourself. Even TJ Watt got Alex Highsmith, who was a dynamic pass rusher. Even San Francisco went out and got Randy Gregory and not Nick Young. What's my man? Chase Young to try to assist Nick Bosa on the other side. As currently is, you don't have enough juice. When Daniel Dime Jones can sit back there and file his nails and be comfy cozy, that raises my antennas. So I'm looking to do something. And I'm not calling somebody off of a practice squad. I don't get a dude. That's just me. So there's my hot take for the day, presented by Dave's Hot Chicken. If you love America's team, you will love America's Hot Chicken. They got all types of heat for For those who do love the extreme heat, you got Reaper. If you just want mild, they got mild. And they have some bomb sides, including the crinkle cut fries and the famous mac and cheese. Dave's Hot Chicken is the spot to go. If you're in McKinney, Plano, or Waco, stop by, let them know A to Z sent you, and more specifically, let them know Sky sent you. It's my hot take, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let's wrap you off for a little bit, man. See what you got on your mind. Up first, we got Reek. What's good, man?
What's going on?
Not much, brother. How are you?
What's going on, Sky?
I'm good. Right? Can you hear? Oh, you know what? I'm muting myself. Oh, there we go. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, Sky?
I'm in now. What's up with you?
My bad.
No, that wasn't you. That was me. That was me.
Okay. Yeah, what's going on, Sky? What's going on, Cowboy Nation? Victory Friday. We gonna get it how it come. You know what I mean?
Handle business, man.
But yeah, man. My thing is with the Cowboys is that we've been a dysfunctional organization for a long time. A lot of this starts at the top to me, as far as the dysfunction. You know what I mean? Because it's like, how long are we gonna keep trying to like blame it on the coaches? You know what I mean? But the coaches have a part to play in this too, just like the players do. It's a zoo, man, because it's like everybody kind of playing for themselves sometimes. You know what I mean? We're not playing as a unit. You know what I mean? From the top down, man, because it's like the difference between San Francisco and us. They have they stuck to their culture as far as being a gritty team. You know what I mean? A tough, gritty team with a little bit of finesse. And my thing is, we so different from everybody else in the league, but we expect to win our way. But even when our way is not working, this team is like stubborn to the last minute. Then they want to go get somebody. I've been hollering and yelling for Hassan Reddick since I knew that he's dysfunctional with the Jets. We don't freed up some money. They got to give us something. You know what I mean? We had to wait all the way to the damn near the start of the first game and the end of training camp for us to get our stars ready to rock and roll. You know what I mean? And now we're seeing that on the field, and it's affecting us as a unit. So the Cowboys got to give us something. You got money freed up, go get some players, man. You know, go out there and acquire by Hassan Reddick. See what you can get for him. I mean, give him go get him for, and if you could possibly pay him, pay him. Go holler at somebody like Xavier Howard that's sitting out there. You know what I mean?
Is he still out there? And look, I'm not even a fan of. I think he's not the same player, but let me see.
He brings some veteran leadership. We need all the veteran leadership. Damn. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need all the veteran leadership that we can get on this team, man.
I mean, no. And we don't need veteran leadership. You need better players. We got enough vets. I don't give a damn about vets. They brought in a veteran, Xavier Rhodes, who was washed up a couple years ago. I don't need no more vets. I need somebody that can play.
Okay, I understand that, but I don't think Xavier washed up like that. I just don't believe that.
Why ain't he on the team then?
I don't know. Maybe other teams have hollered at him, but he just ain't feeling what they offering. You know what I mean? What they saying?
Then why the Dolphins get rid of him if he ain't what?
They probably ain't want to pay him.
They probably ain't want to pay him because he probably ain't playing up to that money, huh?
I don't know. I don't watch that many Dolphin games. Well, the last time
I'm messing with you, man. Right. He's not that good anymore. Yeah. He's not that good anymore. But yeah, he's not that good anymore. But I'm with you in the sense of get a dude, and I don't know if there's a cornerback out there for you, but because you're going to get your guys back, right? You're going to get DeRon Bland back or whatever. You're going to get Kalen Carson back. That's not the position I'm necessarily worried about. Even though yesterday it was a little worrisome, but you were down to your fourth, fifth, sixth corner, so it is. That's going to happen. The position that concerns me, and there's a multitude of positions you could be like, oh, let's get a running back, let's get a receiver, let's get DT. Cool, I'm not going to fight you on it, but you don't have any pass rush juice, and if it's not Micah, it's not anybody. So, and if I can go get a dude that's available, I feel like Hassan's available. I don't know. He feels available to me, and he's a dude.
Yeah, that's what And that's what I'm saying, though, Sky. We the only team that let players go. Let players go in free agency, but we're not trying to replenish. We're trying to replenish strictly through the damn draft. It doesn't work like that. You got to go sign people too, man. You know what I mean? Go sign some pretty good players, man.
I mean, that's what we talk about in the offseason all the time. But now we in the season and it doesn't stop, right? Like now, okay, even off of the heels of a victory, if you see if you're banged up in this way, hell, the Chiefs did it. Granted, they didn't go get a dude. I don't know. We'll see if Hunt just magically becomes a dude again over there, even though he had 9 touchdowns last year, which was interesting. But they dealt with injuries and they said, you know what, we're going to go get somebody. We need help. Yeah. So hopefully we look into it. In closing,
there's one more thing I got to say to you. I'm going to keep banging the table for Hassan Reddick. Pause. But for Hassan Reddick. I'm not Hassan Reddick. I mean, Flournoy, the rookie, man. I want to see him on the field, man. I think that he can bring something to the table that he's sleeping on. We need another wide receiver out there.
Sure.
They need more help.
Bro, if they just going to bring up Flournoy to run a bunch of curls, that shit ain't going to matter.
I hate that shit.
It's not going to matter, bro. And that's what's frustrating because he's a bigger body receiver, so you can run the curls with him, and that's fine and dandy. But I think his physical abilities could be used on those. If you're going to run the slants, he can do some slants on some deeper or over. He got the speed on some deep routes, 50-50 balls, excuse me. He can be kind of that replacement of Michael Gallup, right? Like Dak has tried to hit, and I hate this, but he's tried to hit Cooks on the sideline deep. That used to be for Michael Gallup because Michael Gallup is 6'2" or whatever, big guy, go up and get it. Mm-hmm. Cooks doesn't have the length for that. You need to put Cooks in the slot and have him run overs, or if you're going to put him on the bounds, you have him run deep post or what have you, or get up the seam and hit him. But trying to throw these 50-50 balls in on the outside or these goofy-ass curl routes to a 5'9" dude is just silly to me. So, yeah.
It is, man.
Bring up Flournoy for that, but
Flournoy can do that. We've seen him do it in the preseason.
Yeah.
Give him a chance, man. All right. Thank you, Scott. I'll holler at you later, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Reed. Yeah, man. Oh, boy. I was just texting Vosh like, if I see another motherfucking curl route, I'm going to scream, man. I don't understand it. It's run to the sticks, turn around. If they just gonna do that with old boy, I don't think it's gonna really matter. But I do want to see him. You know, I do want to see him kind of get called up and maybe try to get him involved. But hey, look, bro, this offense, this passing game, 488, and they're getting Ferg involved in kind of the short game right now. Very uninspiring passing game to me. But I'm with y'all, man. I do want to see what Flournoy can. What do you got to lose here? I do think the trajectory has been pointing up for Tolbert, though. Tolbert's had a second half of the Saints game on. Tolbert's obviously the arrow's pointing up a good bit there, but I'm with y'all. Let's see what you got to lose, bro. Three, 4, 6. What's up?
What's the good word, Sky?
What's up with you, man? I'm good. How are you?
Yes, sir. We got to protect Brandon Aubrey, Sky. I know we were on grass and it was wet. You know what I'm saying? But when he kicked that first long-ass kick and he slipped, man, I thought for sure he pulled his hamstring, bro.
I didn't even peep that.
Huh?
I didn't even peep. He slipped. I didn't notice it.
Man, yeah, go back and watch it, bro. He slipped right at the end when he pushed it through, and I was like, man, hold on, he's gonna get himself hurt out here. Trash, and then he missed that second one, and it kind of just made me feel a little bit more concerned. I have a question for you, Scott.
You said he missed the second one. What are you talking
about? Well, the one that he missed. I don't know if it was the second one, but and then
he missed the third one. Yeah, that was the third one.
Was the third one? Okay.
Which honestly, I don't think I would have even sent them out there to do it, but that's a different discussion.
Yeah, we got to protect him, man. I know he can kick those long kicks, but you know what I'm saying? At a certain point, you know what I mean? He's going to put a lot of strain on his leg, and And I'd rather it happen for the whole year than, you know what I'm saying?
Brother,
the offense
we ain't straightening his leg, kicking a regular field goal, man.
You don't think so?
Oh, man.
Okay, just remember I said it first.
That's his job.
Remember I said about Zach Martin and
what
TJ
the hell
Bass.
Zach Martin got to do with Brandon Aubrey kicking a field goal? What the hell are you talking about?
These things. I see these things.
What do you see about the kicker going out there kicking the ball?
So what I'm saying is, I know he has a strong leg, but if you have to repeatedly kick long kicks at a certain point, I think he's going to put strain on his leg, and it's going to. Okay.
All right, man.
The 51, 60. Oh yeah, he can do a 70. Yeah, he can do it. Okay. All
right, brother. What else you got?
Let him do it.
We in here talking about straining Brandon Aubrey's leg on a 50-yard field goal. Okay. Good Lord, we are in
Go back
shambles.
And watch that kick. Go back and watch that first. I know it was wet out there.
Go back and watch the first one, brother. He kicked a 60-yarder after that. What you talking about?
Go back and watch the first. But if you continually do it, anyway. So I was wondering. I know Guyton's a rookie. Are we subject to the routes that we do because of the line? Are we doing the simple routes where Dak can just kind of read really quick? He can deliver a simple route. He doesn't have to get really complicated. Is that what, you know what I'm saying, making our offense look?
Brother.
So
this is Mike McCarthy's offense. Oh, I'm not joking. I'm not trying to make you laugh or nothing. This is Mike McCarthy's offense. They're not doing anything because of your offensive line. This is his offense. That's
even last year.
Yes, you don't, bro. You remember what happened the first 6 weeks of the season? It looked just like this, except for now this year you're seeing a little bit more of the push motion because that's what they stole after week 6 and incorporated. But this is Mike McCarthy's offense, bro. That's just the way it is. But maybe he's doing it at such a high rate because he doesn't trust the offensive line. Sure, but at some point, you got to turn this thing loose like he did last year and trust your quarterback. And last year, what did he say after week 6? I just got just like anything. I gotta let Dak Prescott do Dak Prescott, and Dak Prescott did Dak Prescott, and he was an MVP candidate.
And lastly, man, our number 2 receiver, man, we got to do something more. We're
Jake
lacking
Ferguson?
right there. You're right. Our number 3, Cooks, man. I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just a route selection with him, man.
Yeah, bro.
I see a lot of motion out there, but we're not getting a lot done with him, man. I wish he could we could find more ways to get him involved because. I'm gonna keep it a bean with y'all.
If they're going to use Cooks like this, don't put him on the field. I hate to say that because I think Cooks can still be useful, 100%. But he's not useful if you're sending him on curl routes all day. It's just not. I'm sorry. Yeah, so then throw the rook in there and use Cooks in a different manner. But the way they're using him right now is he does not do nothing for you.
Oh, that's all I have for you, Scott. I appreciate the call.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Salute. I don't know how else more to say it, man. Like Cooks is capable in my opinion. But running curls all day with him, quick slants all day with him, like what are you doing? But if that's what you're going to do, then yeah, you need to just put somebody else in there in that position. James, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, Sky? I'll just say this: it was a little sloppy, but hey, a win is a win. I'm not going to say too much. I just got a question and a comment. My comment is basically we won the game. While I'm happy and whatnot, that's good. But here's where I have my question for you, because like I said, when it comes to YouTubers about the Cowboys, my questions I usually will ask you or bots because you guys are so knowledgeable, and I respect your guys' your comments and feedback. But is it just me, or and I'm not saying that our offense stinks, but it almost just seems like our offense is stagnant. Like there's a lot of 3 and outs. And then that's my question. Do you agree with that? And then the other thing is, do you have any answer for our defense? It looks horrible.
Go back let's go back to the first part. Do I agree with 3 and outs or stagnant? Which part are you asking me?
That our offense is just stagnant. We don't have very much pre-snap motion. It's like the defense just knows what we're doing before we're doing it. That's kind of what I'm going to ask.
Oh yeah. It's 100% stagnant. There's no doubt about it. That's just the life we're living in right now. They got to figure out how to operate within this stagnant ass offense.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's just, it is what it is. That's kind of my saying now. I've showed you guys enough film. I've showed you guys enough, advanced analytics. So there's the football aspect to it. There's XO aspect to it. There's stat aspect to it. If people refuse to accept that this is an archaic scheme, that's their fault. So now there's nothing else I can really say anymore except for it is what it is. They just have to figure out how to make this work. Almost did something today. My bad. Hold on. I almost did something today. Maybe I'll do it another day. I purposefully wanted to go back and see what beat reporters, beat writers, and analysts and former players were saying about McCarthy's scheme at the end of his tenure in Green Bay, and then LaFleur's scheme the very next year and year after. And I promise you, if you just take the excerpts of the analysts and the writers and the people studying the team and writing about the team, and you took it and you put it with the Cowboys, it is verbatim. Yeah, it's word for word, unimaginative, not creative, stagnant, no motion, slant flat, nothing down. It's word for word. Yeah. It's what got him fired in Green Bay. The difference is Aaron Rodgers pushed back on his ass. Aaron Rodgers straight up looked over to the sideline and said, "This dumbass play." I mean, that's what he said.
Ain't working.
He said, he told that man, "This is a dumbass play," and he went to the people and said, "This guy got to go." And he went. And that was my next. That was the thing I was going to say too. They brought in Mike LaFleur, and then the next 2 years, Aaron Rodgers wins MVP and talks about how motion has helped make things easier on him, even though it took him some time to adjust because he wasn't used to it under McCarthy for 13 years. I digress.
Right. And the last thing, that was the last thing I was going to say too, and you kind of took the words out of my mouth, and that is Mike McCarthy he couldn't call his way out of a wet paper bag with the bag open, man. It's just he's not good, and I think that was one of the main reasons why he got fired in Green Bay. I don't like him as a play caller. He's too bland. He's like a bowl of cereal without the milk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So. But anyway, as always, Sky, I really appreciate you, man, because like I said, you and Botch are the reasons I get up in the morning to watch YouTube videos. So I appreciate you very much, man.
Thank you, James. I think your other question was about the defense. What a weird day defensively. It's a weird day because they bounced back. Like I said, they bounced back loudly. That was one of our good parts. The run defense responded loudly, I should say. Right, 1.1 yards per carry. That 100% is a positive. But just strange seeing Daniel Jones camping out back there. Really weird. Really weird, man. So they just couldn't stop them early in that game. And one punt for the Giants. Really weird. Holds them to 5. Was it 5 field goals? Weird, strange game, man. Great against the ground. Great on the run. Bend but don't break, but couldn't get a stop, but did get the pick at the end. I don't really know how to feel about all of that. Whatever, just carry over the momentum from the ground, because next week, I can promise you this. Arthur Smith, that Steelers O-line, and that group of backs, and if Justin Fields is the quarterback, I can promise you this. They're going to copy-paste week 2 and week 3. We're talking about Arthur Smith, ladies and gentlemen. Right? Let me just make sure. We're skipping ahead. I don't want to. Arthur, yes. He's the offensive coordinator over there. So they needed to see and gain confidence that, okay, we can stop this bleeding on the ground. Even though I didn't think this Giants team ran the ball particularly well. We talked about that when we did the breakdown. It doesn't matter. I don't care. They just needed to get some type of morale that they can build off of from winning the day in that specific category. Because they're going to need all the confidence in the world next week to try to stop those boys. Running the ball, that is. 954, good morning.
Hey, Sky, what's up?
What's up, man?
Yeah, I got a few questions. My thing is, how long have we had this issue with the offense running these vanilla routes? Because I remember Watch going over it. I think it was you and Watch. You went over it even when we had Kellen Moore. It came a point in time when the routes became very simple. And I'm like, is this really a specific offensive coordinator problem, or is this just a Cowboys thing that we do no matter who the coordinator is? We just keep these same type of concepts.
It's how can I put this? It's the same but different, right? The McCarthy offense is different than Kellen's offense. So the stagnant part of his offense is deliberate because that's what McCarthy wants to do. The concepts are very basic West Coast type things. Whereas with Kellen is creative. But the problem is Kellen didn't have a feel for the game. I don't think he really had a true plan to stick through that he builds off of. He never really told a real story. But Kellen was not a guy that wasn't creative. We saw it. He was too creative sometimes. He did too much. Sometimes we're like, hey, look, I appreciate that you can do this triple double dog dare reverse annexation of Puerto Rico, but we don't got to do it at this moment. I appreciate you want to do the pitch and catch and toss it back and whoop de doozy day, but we don't got to do it right now, Kellen. I love that we got the no wide receivers, 3 tight ends. That worked. Why didn't you do it again, Kellen? Like, so Kellen just was green as a Cowboys offense coordinator, and it showed in times in so many important moments. It showed in the playoffs, and that was Kellen's problem. And it never was about Kellen not having the offensive coordinator mind to do creative things. He was way more creative than Mike McCarthy. They are with their issues are different. They have issues. I don't think they really present an advantage week in, week out, but they're different. Right? So Kellen was quote unquote creative. He just didn't have a rhyme or reason and didn't have a feel for the game at all. His understanding of what to do in certain moments just didn't make sense. So, but you might be onto something in regards to the top wanting it to look a certain way. Sure.
Because what's crazy is I was watching a video. It was talking about the Packers offense when Mike McCarthy was there, and the wide receivers were showing some of the routes they were doing, and there was a lot of rub routes to get certain receivers open. And I said, why McCarthy doesn't bring some of that try to do more? But I see him did it once yesterday.
We're talking about with LaFleur?
It happened once. I think it was. No, McCarthy was there.
Oh yeah, they don't do no rub routes.
Yeah, like. Because it did one yesterday. It was with, I think, Jake Ferguson and Cooks. It worked awesome. And I said, why don't you do more of that? That works.
So that was a stack. That wasn't one of those rubs. That remember we talked about that in I think it was week 3 against the Ravens, right? They did a stack where they motion Ferg out. He stacks behind I think he stacked behind Lamb, and then he runs a slant. I guess you could call it a quasi pick play or what have you, but that's not your traditional.
It happened last night.
Yeah, I know it happened last night. I'm saying that's not necessarily your traditional rub, but yeah, I suppose. But it's not a staple in the offense, sure.
So my reasoning for wanting Flournoy to play is kind of different from everybody. Not really so much having him as a wide receiver, catching the ball. But my thing, what I think he brings value into, it's blocking because he's a bigger body and it's more physical. Because I've watched a lot of the runs. Like it was a run in the third quarter of the Ravens game. It was for 10 minutes in the game. Stalvin had a run to the outside. And the blocking is horrible. This team's problem. Blocking is horrible. I'm talking with wide receivers, even the offensive line, it's horrible. If Tolbert made a block, I think that run would go to the house. Like, I took a screenshot of that.
They ain't going to no house. Like, I know what you're talking about. They ain't going to no house.
Wide receivers don't They don't involve themselves in blocking. They believe, okay, it's a run play. I'm not involved. I'm not doing anything. But like, it's their man who they're supposed to be blocking.
One wide receiver is not going to change that. That is a mentality that they have in that room. That is a philosophy that starts from the top. The San Francisco 49ers, the Los Angeles Rams, they could plug and play any damn wide receiver in their offense and they block because they have that mentality. So sure, you can throw in.
Why can't we ever have that mentality?
You can.
No.
Go ahead.
Yeah, why can't we ever have that mentality? I mean, no matter who player we get different players, we switch them out. We have the same effect. Like, it's just so soft. Like, the mentality of the team is always soft. No matter who we get, veteran, young guys, it's just soft.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a philosophy, I think, more than and Tolbert's not a good blocker in general. Cooks is not a good blocker.
Yeah,
Turpin is not a good blocker. Lamb is okay, right? Like you're throwing out guys who aren't that way in general, but then you don't really emphasize it with your philosophy in your play style, right? It's emphasized at those teams because they are crucial and critical in what they try to do in the run game. But appreciate the call, my brother.
Yeah, one last thing.
Let's get the 936. What it is, what it do? $936.
Oh, hey man, it's my first time calling.
Welcome to the show, man.
Big fan of what you do.
Thank you, sir.
Big fan of what you do. Oh man, I got to be honest, man. Watching that game, because I've been watching Cowboys for a long, long time since I was a kid, and I enjoy all the Cowboys content creators on what y'all do. Y'all do a marvelous job. And looking at the whole scenery, man, and looking down the stretch of the schedule, it kind of made me feel like, man, like I'm very curious how things shake out. But to be honest with you, man, looking into the next game against the Steelers, man, it kind of puts fear into me because of the fact our tackles, Guyton still, getting his feet wet and understanding the game. Trying to get, in his good stance and all, trying to, figure out how everything goes out. And Steele, man, hasn't been the same since, prior to his injury. And,
he bounced back yesterday. I thought Steele played 95% of that game exceptionally well. I think he got beat real bad one time. And it was right after I was about to tweet it out too, like, hey man, Steele bounced back. And I didn't, and thank God I didn't, because then he got beat. But yeah, he wasn't an issue at all. He actually shut down Brian Burns. They did a stat. If I could find it here for you, give me 1 second.
Yeah, I did see that too. I think it was when Thibodeau switched off into his side for that one play. If I'm correct.
So yeah, Brian Burns had 17 of his 25 pass rushes were over on Steele's side, generated 0 pressures. The first time since his first career game without a pressure with at least 10 pass rushes. So he pretty much shut down Brian Burns. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I guess too, man. I guess for the fact, like, T.J. Watt preferably plays on his side.
Oh yeah, brother. So, T.J. Watt gonna be a problem, man. All right, guy.
Yeah, and I think, to me, man, Guyton, I think the one thing I'm happy about with Guyton, he's playing the top defenders as far as the edge rushers and all that. So I think throughout the stretch down the way, I think he is going to get better, with his hand placements and all that. I think Highsmith's on the opposite side of Watt, if I'm correct. And so, like you said, man, the one thing I am feared of them is edge rushers, and I know they have a solid secondary. But, I mean, looking down, like you said, we got Detroit, San Fran, Philly don't really put no fear in me, man. We've always, we sniped them, little bro. I ain't not really worried about them. Atlanta, I guess you could say in the back, with Jesse Bates and the boys. But like you said, man, I don't know what to really think, because I know they say normally 4 to 6 games is where you kind of have an understanding of what your team is. And like you said, right now, what I'm seeing, man, these last 3 weeks is kind of, a stagnant offense, no creativity. Mike McCarthy, to me, I think he's ran his course with the Cowboys. And at the same time, I don't know if I have faith in Jerry Jones finding the right coach with the right team to come into this office to really, I guess they bring the best out of everybody, man. Because I feel like you're leaving a lot of money on the table with this offense.
Well, I'll say this. You're right. I have that same viewpoint. I always say, man, give me about 4 to 6 weeks to get a better feel of what my squad is. But I think I'm almost ready to say this is what the offense is. Like this is who they're going to be. right? You're 4, 88, 87, and you hope that down in, down out, series in, series out, these guys are executing at the highest of levels because you know they have to do it because you're not going to be put in a position to where they can be remotely off, right? So that is what it is with the offense. The defense, though, I'm still not sure. I'm still stumped on what this defense is and can be because you don't have Bland back just quite yet, right? The pass rush really weird. That's true. Defensive tackle situation really weird. I love the linebacker situation. Safety play has took a weird nosedive. Cornerback depth is showing that it's a bit of an issue, but I mean, when you go down to quarterback 4, it is what it is. But for some odd reason, man, I feel like they will find their footing and maybe they won't be a top defense, but they'll be a middling defense. But I'm just not sure yet on this defense quite yet. I know what my offense is. I don't know what this defense is yet.
Yeah. No, I understand completely what you're saying, man. And I'm with you. You know, you get to see it. You know, from that perspective, that's going to be a massive difference in secondary. You know, and like you said, I know now people are very kind of like alarmed with the safeties. You know, with pretty much Donovan and Malik. And to me, man, I'm back to back weeks, man. I see Donovan take bad angles, and I'm kind of like, man, like at some point,
shit, he took a perfect angle on a running back. He took a perfect angle on a running back and just missed. Like you can't. That's just basic stuff right there, bro. You gotta make the tackle, man. And you know, I want to see YA in there, but he got to stop getting penalties on special teams, or he's gonna be in the doghouse. Like we gotta clean this stuff up, man. We gotta clean this stuff up.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Hey, I appreciate what you do, man. Keep doing what you're doing, and like you said, like I said, I'm always gonna keep hearing on what you got going on, man. Appreciate you today.
Salute. Thanks, brother. Yeah, am I the only one in this? I don't know how to feel about the defense. Like I don't think the defense is what you saw in weeks 2 and 3. I definitely feel like it'll even itself out from there. We damn sure not gonna hold teams to 1.1 yards per carry every game, so I don't think it's that. The week 1 just feels, if we can get that felt right. Right, got a lot of pressures. You were able to do. The safeties were playing well. You were able to disguise things. Micah's on fire. D-Law's on fire. That's what I want. But that has been an outlier. So I don't know that we're that. I just don't know. I need a few more games. Get Bland back healthy. Maybe I think they need to go out and add another player or two, and then we'll see. But I'm very confident in what this offense is. This offense is what it's going to be. There's no changes coming to it. Maybe they add some more razzle dazzle as the weeks go on. Maybe after the bye week, they start doing things that were successful with last year. We'll see. But this offense is what it is. The defense, am I the only one? Let me see here. Defense is tired. It was out there a lot, but get off the field. Maybe get off the field. Two Broke said the defense is a mystery to some degree for sure. Big Max, the defense looks soft. Micah not getting the same pressure. He's not getting sacks. He's getting good pressure. He's not getting sacks. Right? And if he's not getting sacks or he's not getting the pressure, nobody is. And that's concerning. If Mike is not finishing, we in a world of trouble. Learning a new scheme ain't gonna happen overnight. I'm watching all of these other defenses get new schemes and it's pretty good. But this scheme ain't supposed to be that difficult. You said Kendrick's run into blocks. I gotta go. I was talking to Foots about this. I gotta go watch the All 22 because some people came out the game concerned about Kendricks, and I was like, I remember him missing a tackle on Wan'Dale Robinson, but if you're holding teams to 1.1 yards per carry, I mean, something had to go right at the linebacker position that wasn't just DeMar Van Overshown. So I'm gonna go watch that, get a better idea. The defense was better, but it's the Giants. Not impressed. That's what I mean. Like it's just weird right now. I don't have a real grasp of what this defense is. Hell, Dan Quinn came in here, took over the worst defense in the history of the Dallas Cowboys organization. Went out and signed a bunch of Jags, being nice. And you saw the return on investment fast. Real fast. You ain't see this. No. So I don't know how much longer we gonna use. Well, new scheme or whatever. Well, problem is the new scheme doesn't have forever to get right. You don't have a 3, 4, 5 year deal with this guy. So this guy was actually brought in here to improve the defense now. You can say, oh, well, it's unrealistic. That's the realities of the situation. But let's live in that world. Oh, well, it's a new defense. I don't give a fuck how new it is. Tackle. Don't give up 300 rushing yards back-to-back weeks, 250 rushing yards. I haven't seen other defensive coordinators that are first-year defense coordinators give up 500 rushing yards in back-to-back weeks. Generate no pass rush for 3 straight weeks. So I'm just not hearing it. They need to get it together, point blank, period. Because once you start, this was the layup. Once we start getting into these other teams, they have to find some footing, period. Gonna close it out with not Magic City. They don't like me calling you 100 grand no more, but you still 100 grand to me, man. What's up?
Wait, what?
Yeah, they call you $1 grand. They call you $10. They call you.
Did what I say not happen?
Maybe it did 100 grand. You say a lot of things. What'd you say, bro?
And you told me I don't want to get. Yes, it did. You said, I don't want to win like that. I told you. I said it's going to be a close game. We're going to pull it out, low scoring. I told you that.
100 grand. You don't have any right to come in here talking about I told you nothing. 100 grand.
I'm not.
I gave you a chance to come in here and talk about I told you after week 3. I'm not. Don't come in here talking about I told you. What's on your mind, 100 grand?
Listen.
What's on your mind, bro? What's on your mind? You lost your I told you so privileges when you said that the Saints was going to lay down and you said that we was going to blow out the Ravens by 35. I told you so privileges are gone. Absolutely out the window.
I told you I didn't walk on water. I told you I didn't walk on water. And I told you this game.
You know what? You know what, honey? You act like
this.
You act like this. I'm with y'all in the chat. You 100 grams. 100 grams. What you got for the show today? What's on your mind, dog? It's like, what's up with you, man?
Don't do me like that, man. Like I said,
100 grams is crazy, though. You gotta admit that's pretty damn funny.
It is. That's fire. Bring it back to the Young Jeezy mixtape. Jeezy came out with a mixtape called
100 grams. Yeah. What's the vibes in New York, man? They feeling good about themselves up there.
Hey, listen. They want Daniel Jones gone. They don't understand why all they kicking is fit. Man, they hurting. They are hurting.
Oh, I'm actually shocked. I thought they was going to hold their heads high. Okay.
No. Sky. Their offense. You want to talk about how bad our offense is.
Yeah.
They've been kicking field goals the whole season. They only had one game to where they scored like 2 touchdowns.
Oh, shit, you right, bro.
They've been kicking field goals.
Yo, you right. Hold on. Our game, all field goals. Washington, all field goals. Week 1, 6 points. Yeah, they ready. They about tired of Daniel Jones' ass, bro.
They're about tired of Daniel Jones. The coach is on the hot seat. The coach came out and said, we need to score points. They had that one explosion game.
Who they back
now
up?
They right back to field goals.
Back up. They should never got rid of Tyrod Taylor. Anyway.
He went to the Jets.
Right. I'm just saying they should have just cut ties with old boy and let Tyrod do his thing. I bet you he'd have scored a touchdown last night.
They should have.
Drew Lock? Tommy DeVito? Nah.
Yeah.
They trash too, but they probably scored a touchdown.
People want Drew Lock and they want Drew Lock. Drew Lock, man, there's a lot of people that want Drew Lock. And then DeVito got his own flock because of what he did last year. Yeah. So it's a lot of people want him in there. It's a lot of people that want Daniel Jones go.
So 100 grand. Here's what we're gonna do because this basically has turned into a bit. Okay, this has turned into a bit.
Yeah, yes, it has. Yes, it has.
What you gonna tell me next week, right? So there's a segment. There's a segment. Hold on. There's a segment that Colin Cowherd does, and it's called Tomorrow's Headlines Today. I love that segment. I kind of want to steal that. I want to steal that with you because we're gonna get $100,000 prediction every week. Usually it's wild as hell.
Okay.
But what are you gonna say? I told you so about next week, $100,000. Give it to me. Keep it a bean.
We beat Pittsburgh.
Keep it a bean. Okay.
We beat Pittsburgh. It's gonna be a low scoring game. We beat Pittsburgh. Now, our defense, I can tell you this right now, our defense is gonna carry us through the same way. Because this offense ain't going to click like that yet until I feel like they ain't going to really rock until after the bye. Because that's when all the new stuff got put into place. You might see a couple of new wrinkles, but I don't think our offense is really going to explode until after the bye. Man.
But if that happens,
I really don't.
You might be right because it happened last week. But if that happens, that's malpractice. Let me tell you why. Last year,
I agree.
Totally get, I mean, kind of, because you had all off season, but whatever. First year in the offense, I don't like the way it was going in the first 6 games. I thought you were holding back the offense, you as a coordinator. But then I'll give you credit for understanding you were holding it back. You got loose a little bit and you let it go. But there's no excuse for you to be doing the same things when you have a whole entire off season. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes me a little nervous about, well, will we see a change once you get to the bye week? Because you had a 7-month bye week to implement and grow the offense, you know, and we're not really seeing changes. So hopefully somebody gets in his ear or Dak kind of says, you know what, just let me do my thing, and this offense picks up. My worry is, you know, what I've been saying is that we remain one-dimensional, and by playoff time, it's a problem.
But Scott, too, here's another thing that people are not paying attention to. Well, enough people are not paying attention to. We got rookies on that line.
Oh, nice.
And they're going through their growing pains right now. We're getting a lot of penalties.
Who ain't paying attention to that, bro?
But what I'm saying is that could be affecting the type of plays that they're calling because they can't really do what they want to do because every 5 minutes Tyler Guyton's getting a penalty. He had a rough day yesterday. And you know, BB might let one slip. So I feel like they're letting them go through this fire and letting them like mature faster. So when the middle of the season come through, they got some type of seasoning on them. And then, okay, let's expand this offense because we can't. That was embarrassing yesterday. But we overcame. You got to give these boys credit. We overcame. We've had other years where we get those many penalties and we just can't overcome. You know?
I feel like they've learned to live with the penalties. I think they've overcome the penalties a lot, actually. I mean, when you're 12-5, 3 straight years, a lot of those 12 wins, you were overcoming the penalties. Look, that's very admirable, but I would love to see more discipline in regards to that. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure we all talked about the rookies going through growing pains, 100%. But I don't even think they're calling things to aid their progressiveness. I don't think they're calling anything.
They didn't send Tyler Guyton no chips or nothing. They left him on an island by himself. Figure it out, son.
Yeah.
Did you see the same game I saw? They didn't do anything to help him. They said, figure it out.
Yeah, I mean.
And when you're doing that, expect flags when you're doing that.
We saw year one with Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith, I think he might not led the league in penalties, but he led the team in penalties. I believe he did. Where maybe 8 or 10 penalties, but I think Tyler Guyton might be halfway there. He might be more than halfway there. I don't know, man. Let me see.
He got half of that yesterday.
God damn, he had 4 penalties last night. My boy is struggling over there. Let's see.
And the defense,
bro,
right
he got
now,
7. Bro, he got 9 penalties in the first 4 weeks. No, he got 9.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
9.
Yeah, we gotta figure that out.
That's what I'm saying. They leaving him out to dry. They're not chipping or nothing. They letting him play. They're not. We're not going to help you, son. We're not going to help you. Figure it out. You know. And this defense right now is looking like bend but don't break.
Last night,
one credit I can give is
last night it was bend but don't break.
Last night. That's what I'm saying. Last night. I'm not talking about anything. Last night, it was bend but don't break. Navis did his thing. But you will not get a big play. You will not get a big no, he was nasty when he got on Booth. They need to sit Booth needs to go back to the booth for something.
That's what I said on Twitter. I said, hey dog, we need to put Booth in the booth. What did we say on the show this week? We said, hey, man, I don't like that matchup, dog. I don't want to put no damn Andrew Booth out there on Malik Neighbors. The third play of the game, he had Booth doing the N1 commercial. Reaching for his shoes. Tie your shoes, young man.
I said, see this. I spoke this into existence. And I'm going to tell you this right now.
Hey, let me tell you what
that wide receiver for the Giants. That wide receiver for the Giants is going to get Daniel Jones fired because they love him. And if Daniel Jones if Daniel Jones can't step up his game with that wide receiver, this might be Daniel Jones last year in New York because they look at that boy like he Odell Beckham Part 2. That's how they look at him. And he's nice. He's nice. No, I'm saying he's nice.
Yeah, he like that.
He's nice. But if Daniel Jones can't get that man the ball.
I mean, he got him the ball. That wasn't the issue. Daniel Jones.
No, I'm talking about for touchdowns, and that's what I'm talking about.
He on pace for like 13 touchdowns. Game, but so look, bro. F the Giants, okay? But he didn't miss. He didn't miss, bro, that much for. He missed Slayton for a tutty, deep.
Slayton dropped the ball.
He did miss Neighbors though on that over route. I think when he beat Diggs, though. He did miss it. But yeah, man.
You know.
So for next week, 100 grand. I told you so. Is we just gonna beat the Steelers? Close game again. That's it.
Yes, sir.
All right, that ain't okay. That's not too bad. All right, that's not too bad.
Close game, but everybody's saying we ain't gonna beat the Steelers based off this game. Everybody talking about, yo, man, the Steelers gonna beat us. Steelers, you know, they undefeated for right now. We'll see what happens.
It's a good team. It's good. I'm glad we're going up against a good Steelers team and not a Steelers team that's trying to figure it out. I can't wait to go dive into the film and break it down. Because I've been watching them from a distance. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching from a distance, but not breaking it down. I'm excited to see where these matchups lie. But I do know just from a macro viewpoint, dealing with Watt and Highsmith is going to be something. So they got to be ready for that.
And I like our run defense stepped up. I mean, everybody gonna say it's the Giants. They still stepped up. I don't care who it was against. Y'all was saying before it didn't matter who ran at us. They was going gash us in no matter who it was. So don't switch it up now that it was the Giants, man. They did a good job. They ran the ball 26 times and only got 26 yards.
Yeah, I don't give a damn who was out.
Like that's an improvement.
I don't care who was out.
That's an improvement.
26 yards on 26 carries is madness. So you can miss me with.
Crazy.
They needed that. Look, this is what Andrew Booth was looking like, y'all. Oh, let me see if I can pull this up here. This is what you can't see it, bro, but this is what Andrew was looking like out there. Had that man reaching for his ankles like he was doing a crossover. I mean. Stop! Don't even pull him out there. And what's going on with Izzy? Why ain't they put Izzy out there?
I don't know. Is he? You gotta look deep into that, bro. Is he in the doghouse? He got something. I don't know, man. Is it a scheme? Does the scheme not fit him?
It may be because they got him in a slot, bro. I don't agree with that at all. And shouts out to Amani. Like the Amani character got the interception. He gave up a couple passes or whatever. But I was getting a little nervous. I was getting a little bit nervous that this was starting to look like when they threw out Mullins and Xavier Rhodes. But, you know, he held it together.
Hey, man. It is what it is. On to the Steelers, man.
Appreciate you, 100. I'm going to call you 100 grand, but you come in here on some 100 grams type shit. I'm going to call you out.
I got you, man.
I got nothing but love, bro. Appreciate you.
No doubt, bro.
100 grams is crazy. What was that, Professor O? Hey, man, I got to get you a book. That's fire. Y'all know that bit I'm talking about with Colin. Maybe y'all don't. People like I'm a fan of Colin. I know he's not well liked, but for what he does show wise, I think it's top tier. His show is top tier. But yeah, he's a Cowboy hater. Yeah, I mean, but I'm a fan. All right, let's you hear the basketball squeaking? That's what Booth was hearing. I swear I thought he broke his ankle, like literally. We always say, "Oh, he broke your ankles." No. I really thought his ankle was broke. And I went back because when I'm out at Canvas, shouts out to him, I can't really hear the audio all like that. So last night or this morning, can't remember. Everything's a blur. I'm tired as hell for real. I listened to the play. You hear the crowd going crazy before Daniel Jones throws the ball. I'm like, but why? What's happening? And then they show the replay. I'm like, oh my God. Or Betty, I was like,
oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ass on.
Get him out of here, man. Get him out of there. Michelle said, I hate Kyle. I know a lot of people hate him, man. It ain't that I like his takes or anything like that. I like how he does his show. I think it's elite. All right, that was fun. Let's if there's any super chats, let me get to them. I saw somebody in the chat. I don't know if it was a super. Let me see real quick. It was like, hey, Sky, you got to put together a chat cookout. Let me see. No, I wasn't in chat. You got to put together a chat cookout. We planning on one. But it's really in a celebration cookout for Vach. Vach wants to do a cookout once he hit 100,000 subscribers, and we want to do that. So I'm just saying, once that happens, let's look out for it. That was you, Anthony. That's a great. I mean, that's a great idea because this is a community, a real family. To me, that's why I always say I feel like our chat is lit because of y'all. I'm not in the chat. Y'all in the chat. Y'all the ones that keep it popping. I just try to make sure I also entertain y'all the phones and it's not as dry, So because what a lot of people don't understand, you do a solo show like this, it can be. You have to interact with y'all. You have to, man, or wants to listen to me talk all damn day. So I missed a super chat yesterday. Zach Ghostin. Zach, you always dropping them. Dog. Hit my cash app, Zach.
Super chat.
Shouts out to Zach Ghostin. He dropped 100 in the pregame show, I think it was. He said, if we come out not playing sound and physical defense and playing timid on offense, we're cooked. If we do play the way I feel, sorry for the Giants tonight. He said, if we do play that way, I feel sorry for the Giants tonight. Either way, we'll learn a lot about our team. Let's go, boys. Fortunately, they didn't come out as bad. I mean, in the first half, they did score 14 points. So. Trayvon dropped 2, and this was also yesterday. He said, your defense successfully iced your quarterback. Your defense successfully. Are you a Cowboy fan? No, man, see, this is the problem when you read supers from the day before. Not really sure. C Black said, why does this win feel empty? Oh, yeah, it's 100% an uninspiring win. It doesn't move me one way or the other. I don't feel worse off about the team. I don't feel better about the team. They are what they are. Nothing has changed, but they needed to get the dub. That's all that mattered to me. I'm not going to sit here and be, oh, my God, yeah, we got the dub. Yeah, man. Handle business. That's why you see the thumbnail. You handled business against a team you were supposed to handle business with. Flat out. Even with all the things that the good, the bad, the ugly part, that don't even move me all that crazy. This next stretch, that's where I think you'll get some needle movers, in my opinion. G-Dub dropped 5 and said, Mike got the big ass call sheet and talks for damn near 30 seconds to call curls and slants. Do I got anything? Oh, I don't got nothing, boy. Mike do got that big ass play sheet and probably use one corner of it. Y'all think I'm lying? Go, if you get the all 22 today, because I watched 3.5 quarters of it, and I plucked out fourth quarter attempts, but I didn't watch it all the way through. A whole lot of run to the sticks, turn around, and a lot of these dudes is running 3 yards before the sticks and turn around. It's silly, man. Mac dropped 2. It says Sky is speaking facts. Kellen Moore was a C+ coordinator. Yeah, man. Kellen was just too green for this team. Bars. B Bird dropped 2 and says, B Bird dropped 2 and says, Sky, what you think about Hooker getting run down? Oh, we had a laugh about that. Me and Jesse had a laugh about that. I looked over to Jesse and said, he's not going to have a good time in that film room. Hooker got hawked by a white tight end not named George Kittle. Oh, yeah, they're going to clown him. They're going to clown him. Tricks dropped 2 and said, what you think of Jay Uso winning the belt? I wanted Braun Breaker to go on a long streak, a little bit longer streak, but they had to take advantage of this Jay hype. I'm not a big fan of this whole Yeet movement thing. Bro, Yeet is like 15 years old. He got drunk in a post-game or post pay-per-view conference and said Yeet 1,000 times, and it created a movement. It's so stupid. But I'd rather see him back involved with the whole bloodline thing. It's Jey Uso. Now, he's over. It's popping. Good for them. Take advantage of it. I think that's what they're doing. They had to take advantage of it. Congratulations, Jay, winning the IC title. I promise you he's likely just a bridge title holder. Watch what I say. Ratio drop 5. Name one piece we could add to the offense or defense that will make us a legit contender, or 2 pieces. Well, we talked about Hassan Reddick defensively. I think that would help. Jonathan Allen, if you're talking defensive tackle, I think that would help on offense too. So if you're going to, then you're not going to get both of those guys. I'm not living in a fantasy world. But I do think you could legitimately get a dude if you want to. But Hassan Reddick is right there. That's the one that obviously wants out of the Jets. So that's defensively. On offense, you can go running back, I guess, but we don't really commit to the run game. You can go receiver, right? You can go looking for a number 2 receiver. Probably a number 2 receiver that's ready to go. Let's see what old boy Higgins. You got to pay him, so you're going to pay. So that's another you got to pay. Number 2 receiver. I don't know a name specifically. I have to see who's ready to go. I know Higgins is ready to go contract-wise, but I think those are the positions. Running back just seems like that's the easy one. I just don't trust McCarthy to give a damn about the run game in any capacity. So unless you're going to spend a 7th round pick in 2026 on the back, I'll be down for that. But if I'm spending a legitimate resource on a back, nah, I'd rather spend that legitimate resource on a pass rusher, on a defensive tackle, on a wide receiver too, if you are in that camp, right? So kind of where I'm at. Tyler Boyd. Oh, Hopkins. Oh, Coop. Yeah, I'm talking about. Ain't Coop trying to get up out of there? Wouldn't that be something? Okay, yeah, let's do that. Coop. Amari Cooper on offense. Hassan Reddick defensively. Pastor said, well, would you overpay for him? Well, the Jets only sent the conditional 3rd round pick. I would send a conditional 4th. I don't see that as overpaying. Here's a 2026 fourth. By the way, they sent a conditional 2026 fourth round pick. I got you, New York. Here's a conditional 2026 fourth round pick that could turn into a 2026 third round pick. So you're not even losing the pick in 2025. I don't think you'd overpay for him. Now the Jets, do they want to trade him? That's a different discussion. I don't know if any of these teams want to trade these guys. I just know that he doesn't want to be there. So that's the obvious choice, and it's a position you could use him for. Devontae Adams, yeah, I don't think that's happening. Mark said Cooper ain't it. Well, I tell you what, Amari Cooper better than what you got going on here at wide receiver 2. That's facts. You can say what you want to say about him ain't being it. I don't need Coop to be wide receiver 1. I got that locked down. I need somebody to take advantage of these one-on-ones. If we're going to run all these dumbass curls and these slants and these outs or whatever, then I need somebody that could create some separation with the hit, you know? Coop will do that for you. So you can call him whatever you want to call him in Cleveland as a wide receiver 1. I don't know. I ain't been watching him like that besides week 1. But you get him here where teams, and the Giants did it. Go watch the film. Where teams is putting 2-3 guys around CD Lamb and you need somebody to take advantage with these whack-ass route concepts, Coop will do that for you. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, Cooks can't get no separation. He can't get separation because they got him running routes where that's not what he does. He doesn't create separation on no damn curls. You got to take advantage of him on these overs, right? Or these winebacks where it look like it's a post corner or a corner post. Like, you got to take advantage of him pushing downfield and putting these guys on their heels. And next thing you know, boom, now he's cutting on an end, or he's doing a post or an over route or cross, or make guys chase him. But this whole run 7 to 10 yards and turn around, nah, that's not where he gonna route you up. Cooks will route you up like that, but not. Or I'm sorry, Coop will route you up like that, but Cooks ain't gonna do it. Big A, shouts out to you, bro, coming through. He said when they ran that comeback with Cooks, I was hot, but they turned around and did it again with Tom. Brother, go. I promise you, go watch the damn film. They did it with everybody. Everybody was running them damn curls, mirrored routes and curls. Very simple, very basic. And if you're going to do it, then you do it with the Toberts of the world, the Flournoys of the world, the Brookses, right? You do it with those guys because they're bigger. They can play through the body of the cornerback a little bit more. That's what you do. Toxic said, Coop for Let's Go. They owe us. Dalvin. Y'all talking about Dalvin Cook? Brian, bring up Dalvin Cook. Yeah, I think it's time. I think it's... So here we go. Ooh, I just got a notification. I better press the button because I want... I don't like the second part. But Hassan Reddick, not opposed to a trade. But then it says Jets linebacker open to going back to Philly amid contract holdout. No. But there you go, bro. Like, Hassan Reddick is trying to get up out of there. And we just talked about it. Anyway, back to Dalvin Cook. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for bringing him up. But I'm also... I do want to see what Hunter Lipke and a Rico type of combination could look like, too, a little bit. Mark said he just got on. This is a do-rag sky I've heard so much about. Hey, chat, I would say I was composed today. I don't think I was do-rag sky. I just got it on. I said it's Friday. I'm tired. Ain't get home till late. Got up early. We'll put the do-rag on. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'll bring up Dalvin Cook because I'm just throwing anything at the wall. But I am intrigued to see what a Rico 11 carry, Hunter Lipke 7-8 touch type of situation looks like. I'm interested in seeing that. Can I see that first? Is that okay? And then we can bring up Dalvin Cook. I'm up for anything right now. Companion said, why would they trade for Hassan Reddick if they have to pay him before he plays it down? Are you talking about Cowboys or Eagles? Oh, okay, talking about Cowboys. You're going to pay him before Micah. So Companion missed our shouts out to Dave's hot chicken, our hot take, where we talked about the whole paying thing. I'll keep it simple for you here, Companion, because I'm pretty sure you missed it. This is where Jerry comes in, and Jerry becomes a salesman. By the way, it looks like Hassan Reddick is okay with being traded and not being paid, because clearly if he's going to go back to Philly's not paying him. That's why they traded him. So if he's open to that, then you just need the ultimate salesman. Jerry's the ultimate salesman. Hey, come to Dallas. We're a big brand. I can get you into real estate. We're on TV. Hey, you go out here and you ball, you might be able to get a contract elsewhere. Hell, you might be able to get a contract here because the Cowboys need another defensive end anyway. So you come to Dallas, it's not just about being a football. That whole Jerry Snake Oil salesman thing, which from the looks of it, you might not have to do a whole lot of, because Hassan Reddick is willing to be traded and obviously not be paid in Philly. So, Companion, that's kind of where we were at with it in regards to the trade talk situation for Hassan Reddick. Clearly, nobody's paying him. Do you want to play football, sir? And if you want to play football, we could use your services. Yeah, Toxic. Sell them. Sell that opium. Sell that opium. All right, let's see if we got any more supers. And we do. Shouts out to my bro Lee. Lee said, what I text last night, call it Texas Quill. I mean, let me go see what you're talking about, Lee. Let's see, Lee. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He said the cover of Mike McCarthy's playbook is Vic's Z Quill. It was boring. It was boring. But boring ain't always bad. If they convert and score, they scored 31 points the way they did it, whatever. But because it is what it is. It's not changing. This is what it's going to be, man. This is what it's going to be. All right, let's get up out of here. It's Friday. Fantastic show. Shouts out to Spec. Shouts out to Dave's Hot Chicken, Canvas, for having us on a Thursday night. It was Latin night last night. Vibe was still popping. Make sure to go check them out. I'll be back Monday. We'll see how we'll play this. I think I want to still do our normal schedule here, but I might turn up the heat and start Steelers prep on Tuesday. Monday we'll take a look at some plays. Maybe we'll get back to drive of the game. I miss doing a drive of the games because we haven't won in a couple weeks, but maybe we'll get back to that. But Monday will be kind of not tape Tuesday, but it'll be a tape Monday. I think that's what we'll do. With that said, let's get up out of here so you guys can go enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend.
Push the goddamn button.
Push the goddamn button. I'll push it, man. Hey, Pastor. I'm going to go watch the film. After week 1, I was hopeful, Pastor. I was hopeful. Y'all be good, man. Take your leftovers. No cookout. We out here. Peace.